Hey, what's happening, guys? Happy Thursday. Listen, it's Thankful Thursday. You already know what time it is. I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. It's your girl, Jaja. Listen, I am grateful to be in my right mind, the activities of my limbs. I ain't in nobody's hospital, and I ain't in nobody's jail. Won't he do it, okay? Listen, it's a beautiful day. I know snow is outside, and it's a little crispy, and it's a little cold, but winter has really been good to us, guys, because y'all already know it's going to snow like 50,000 inches in April. And come May, come March, it's going to be really, really cold. What's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. I told you guys on the other day, I know you were kind of getting your mind wrapped around surviving R.Kelly. And like I said before, we all have had to survive some R.Kellys. Not just Robert Kelly, the R&B singer, the king of R&B, because he is the king of R&B in terms of the music. But he is also a person that has dealt with some tragedies. So for those of you who haven't been keeping up and haven't watched the Lifetime docuseries regarding R. Kelly, he was filmed, his victims, some of his victims, as well as his ex-wife, was filmed talking about how they had to deal with some of his scrupulous behaviors, his manipulating behaviors, and dealing with his sexual demons, because that's exactly what they are. It's a sex demon. And if any of you have ever had to deal with any of that, you know that when you hook up with certain people, some of those spirits can jump off on you. That's why God made it where you wanted to get married to the person that you was going to have sex with, because if you don't, you're going to end up being attached to a bunch of different spirits that the person has dealing inside of them. And many of you don't realize that when it comes to spirits, when it comes to demons, when they jump off of somebody else, they jump off on you, and even if you're trying to get them off of you, they come back 10 times stronger. So this young man had to deal with being molested by his oldest sister, 16 years old, having to perform oral sex, him and his brothers, on a relative. That's incest. And one of the things that I saw watching the film as an editor, person that's dealing with journalism, a show can chop up in a certain type of way to tell a certain story. Just like with reality TV. They talk about how they do so much filming, and they film for days and days and days, and then you only see an hour or 30 minutes of a show that took 4 or 5 days to film. So when it comes to TV, they want to paint a picture. And you have to be careful of how you watch TV, how you get the information that you get. A lot of people don't realize that R. Kelly this behavior has been over 2 decades. And I'm in my early 30s, and he was doing these things when I was in elementary and middle school. And so one of the things that I saw when I was watching the film, I saw women that were looking for an opportunity. I saw an ex-wife that enjoyed being attached to the name, but didn't want to deal with the behaviors that came along with it. If I'm marrying somebody that I know is manipulating women, verbally, physically, and sexually abusing them, I would not want to keep their last name. That's just my observation. Certain people like the perks of what certain things bring to them and certain lifestyles that they bring. Now, let me be very clear. Let me be very frank. You're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I know y'all heard me the first time. People like being a part of the lives of those that are influential. All of us do. All of us want to be a part of the people that are doing things, that are going places, that are moving and shaking. But you have to be careful what you're willing to put up with to be attached to those things. And see, when you have people that are older and they see the hunger and the thirst that young people have a tenacity and a fearlessness that older people don't have, because they become a little bit more cautious. They become a little bit more careful because they have been through life and they know what life has to offer and what life has to bring them. One of the things that I saw during the episodes was that you have a lot of people that are hurting, and hurt people hurt other people. We're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about surviving the R. Kellys in your life. And matter of fact, are you the R. Kelly? Now, you have to understand this setup. You have a young man who is probably, R. Kelly was probably autistic. Couldn't read, couldn't write, being made fun of, grew up in the projects, didn't have much, mama always in church, lead singer in a choir, family going through the normal struggles that the African American families go through because of the social economic disparities that other ethnicities have placed upon us and kept us in that particular time frame. So the fact that he was able to leave from that lifestyle, get out of that lifestyle, have something of his own. He dropped out of high school. He's stuck. His mentality and his mindset is stuck. It's a lot of people that are grown, 40-year-old, 50-year-old women and men that are stuck in the same mindset of when they were in their 20s and when they were in their teens. Case in point, men and women that go to prison at a young age. They miss their whole 20s, their whole 30s, and when they get out, all they remember is what they remember when they before they went to prison. And so you have to be careful of the people that you link up with. These women linked up with someone, these young ladies rather, linked up with someone who they thought was going to give them an opportunity and was influential in the industry that they wanted to belong in. And again, it's nothing wrong with admiring people who you believe can get you to where you want to go. We all want to be a part of those individuals that are influential, but you have to be mindful who you link up with. Now, his sister obviously had some challenges with somebody else, because for somebody to just make their siblings want to perform oral sex on them, that alone is psychologically insane. You 16 years old, you should be looking for you a 16-year-old, not a 4 and a 6-year-old or a 6 and a 7-year-old. And like I said before, when I got pregnant with my son at 17 years old, I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew that his father was 6 years older than me, but that let me know right then and there, as I watched the R. Kelly story, all I could think about was me being a kid. And see, some of you old geezers out there, you're nasty and you're trifling. You see these girls walking home. You see these girls on the internet. You're trying to get in their DM, slide in their DM, talk to them while they walking home from school. They got a book bag on. They got books in their hands. They got ponytails and swoop bangs. You know they a kid. R. Kelly knew these girls were kids, but he also knew the power of influence. And see, that is one of the reasons why fathers are so important and imperative to be in their daughters' lives. You should be the first person to tell your daughter she's beautiful. You should be the first person to tell her that she's gorgeous. You should be the first person to let her know how valuable she is, so that she's not itching to hear that from somebody else, especially someone that they feel is influential and can change their life. R. Kelly is not the only person at fault here. There were parents that allowed their children to go with this man. There were aunties and uncles that introduced children to a man that they knew knowingly was a pedophile, knowingly that he was a manipulator, that he was suffering from greed. And so you have to be careful about your parents. Some of you parents are so lackadaisical and callous when it comes to your kids. Oh, they can go off with their coach. Oh, they can go off with the teacher. My mama didn't play that. My mama did not play that. She wanted to know who was at the house. Was there any men there? Did she have any brothers? I can remember a time that I wanted to spend a night at my friend Kiata's house. Shout out to Kiata. I know she probably remember this. She had a sleepover, and I wanted to go so bad. I mean, y'all, I cried. I wrote a letter. I negotiated. I said I would wash dishes. I would watch my brothers and sisters. My mom was adamant about no. She said no in Spanish, Arabic, English, Swahili. The answer was no. And see, sometimes we got to get to a point where we have to be so disciplined in our no that we're not allowing our children to go anywhere they want to go and do anything that they want to do. My mama wasn't letting me rock no blue hair. She wasn't letting me put no color in my hair until I got to an age of maturity where she felt like I could handle it. You have to understand that when you have parents, there's a balance there. When you have a mother and a father there, it's a balance. God made it for a reason. He made a balance for a reason, because you have the lamb and the lion. Sometimes you play a duality role, and for single parents, I commend each and every mother and father out there that are playing the double role of double duty because it's hard. It's hard to be the lamb and the lion because you have to learn to balance and provide a balanced life for your child. And when there is a parent that's absent, that lacks, especially if they're physically able and capable of being in their child's life and there's no obstruction or anything that's causing you not to be in your child's life, that's a problem and you're a coward. And any woman or any man that's dating a man or a woman that's not taking care of their own kids, you're just as much of a coward as them, and you're selfish. But back to R.Kelly. Yeah, I said it before I take it back. I'm going to add more to it, and I know y'all heard me the first time. And I ain't got time to play with none of y'all because y'all ain't got no heaven or hell to put me in. Yeah, I said it. So, when you have parents, you have a team. And unfortunately, because of the African American communities, and we are always struggling, we don't never have, the minute that you get the opportunity to get put on by any means necessary, you ready to get put on. Even if that means selling your kid short, your niece short. In this documentary, each and every one of these young ladies had talents. They had gifts, God-given talents to allow them to expound and be showcased amongst the world, just like R.Kelly was showcasing his talent. And they felt that this man was influential enough to showcase that talent. You have to be careful who talks in your child's ear. You see, men know how to speak those sweet nothings in a woman's ear. Just like women, we have the power, okay, to speak those sweet nothings in a man's ear and allow him to do the things that we want him to do. It's called pillow talk. Y'all know pillow talk. When y'all get in that room by yourselves and y'all get to smooching and kissing and loving, and you start being influential to the person who you're dealing with. You have to be careful who speaks in your ear, because people manipulate you, and people will say certain things to get you to do what they want you to do. I never forget, my mother told Tayshawn's father, stay away from my daughter. Okay? I was a teenager and he was a grown man. Period, point blank. I don't care who watching, who looking, and who listening. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I was a child. I was very mature for my age, but I was a child. He was 21 while I was 16 and 17, and he should have been going at the club going to find him a 21, 22-year-old or a 20-year-old instead of chasing after some little girls at the church. But I love my child, and I wouldn't take him back for the world, and I wouldn't trade him for the world. But you have to be careful who you allow to speak into your children's life. And see, my mom was so protective of her children, but because you have the rebellion that goes against what your parents say and what your parents allow you to do, you say, oh, you're being too strict. You're being too hard. Some of our parents were hard for a reason because they saw things that we couldn't see. I've had to struggle for 15 years as a single parent, begging and asking for help when I should have listened to my mama. My mother told me, you had somewhere you were supposed to be in life. And because you did not listen to me, you got to deal with the ramifications of your disobedience. These girls had no idea that they were going to be sex slaves, having to starve, having to ask to go to the bathroom. All they knew was, I'm getting ready to have an opportunity with R.Kelly. I never thought in a million years that I would have to ask somebody to help me for their child or children that they helped make. I'm sure every woman and every man that decided to lay down with somebody and have a baby with them, you never anticipated having to beg for help for something that you helped create. And I don't care how you put it, how you add it, how you multiply it, how you subtract it, you're wrong. And at the end of the day, everybody in that scenario was victims. And everybody in that scenario were manipulators. They wanted to be famous, and he wanted sex, sexual favors. And you got to be careful of people who have, or you got to be careful of the desperation, because people smell desperation. People smell when you're desperate. That's why we got these sugar daddies out here and these sugar mamas out here. Oh, you need money? Oh, okay. Yeah, I can pay your phone bill. And they'll pay you, keep paying your phone bill until they want something from you. Oh, they'll pay your car note. Yeah, oh, baby, ain't no problem. What you need help with? Until they want some sexual favors from you. See, it's all the trick of the enemy, and you got to make sure that you are paying attention. That's why God tells you to make sure you cover your eyes, your ears, and your mouth, and be mindful of what you are watching, seeing, and doing. And some of us like to blame other people for the decisions that we've made. Those parents could have went and got their kids. They thought that they were going to get an opportunity just like those kids did. And see, you have to understand, a person who holds the power and the person who holds the key is going to make you do what they want you to do. They're going to speak that stuff in your ear and in your mind, and they're going to keep saying, don't nobody love you like I do. Your parents don't love you like I do. Your mama's strict. Your daddy's strict. I don't know. You mature enough to handle it. Go and drink this liquor. Go ahead and smoke this weed. I ain't never smoked a day in my life until I hooked up with that fool. I'm sitting on the porch. I kid you not. I'm sitting on the porch in Rosedale Park, smoking a black and mild on the porch with my baby. His cousin called my mama and told my mama, honest to God, if she on here, if I'm lying, I'm flying. His cousin called my mama and said, I just came from such and such house, and your daughter is on the porch smoking a black and mild. And that is not what she's supposed to be doing. You have to be careful of who influences your children. And you got to learn to have a conversation. Don't be so caught up in your world with your mate and your man that you forget about your kids. Because I remember growing up, my mother had a girlfriend who, every time she got a boyfriend, she stopped taking care of her kids. She wouldn't feed them. She would go get them some pizzas and go on about be with her man. You can't be so desperate to be with somebody that you forget the importance and the responsibilities that you're supposed to have. See, the thing about it is desperation has a smell. And the enemy knows how to put things in your place because you're weak. And I'm not saying that you're a weak person, but we all have weak moments. And see, sometimes we think we're mature enough and we think our kids are mature enough to handle certain things because you haven't had a conversation with them. My son comes home and he'll say, I say, how your day, son? Fine. Okay, what made it fine? How was it? What caused it to be fine? What made it okay? I want to walk down. What happened in the first hour, second hour, third hour, fourth hour? What the teachers talk about? What your friends was talking about at lunch? Who was fighting? Why they was fighting? What the principal say? Who was there? Who wasn't there? How do you feel about that? Because kids have an opinion. And one of the reasons why I rebelled against my mother, and you're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I know y'all heard me the first time. One of the reasons why I rebelled against my mother is because I could not have a conversation with her. She was so focused on being a dictator and making sure I did the right thing that she didn't realize that I was ready to have those conversations. See, some of the time you don't understand that your kids are at a place where they're looking for answers. And if you're not careful, they'll get the answer from Google. If you're not careful, they'll get the answer from YouTube. If you are not careful, your kids will get answers to the questions and the curiosity that they have from friends that are unexperienced. See, I felt comfortable talking to my friends about sex because they were having it, when I should have been comfortable enough to have the conversation with my mother and my father. But my father was in prison and my mother was a single parent. So you got to be mindful of the influences that your children have. I had a friend in high school. She had a 30-year-old boyfriend picking her up from high school with no problems. But see, her mama didn't ask her no questions. You know why? Because she was an honor roll student. She wasn't causing no trouble. She didn't talk back. She wasn't disrespectful, but she was sneaky. And she was doing what she wanted to do. But because everything else was getting done, her parents didn't have any reason to question. You're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about surviving the R.Kellys in your life, and are you the R.Kelly in your life? See, you have to understand that we all want the right results, but you got to be careful if you get them the wrong way. I want to be a part of the upper echelon. I want to be one of the most influential people in the city, and I believe that I've become that. However, I'm not going to sell my soul or sell myself short to do so. I've been under employers who manipulated their power and they flexed. Because that's what R.Kelly did. He flexed his power. He said, okay, you want to be with the big dogs? Well, this is what the big dogs got to do. And see, you also have to be mindful of who's in your camp. I watched the documentary, and something that was so odd to me is that the man kept asking for prayer. You can't ask for prayer from people who suffering from the same illnesses as you. I can't get delivered from weed from a weed head. I can't stop smoking cigarettes and still want to hang out with people who smoke cigarettes until I'm strong enough where that no longer bothers me. You can't stop drinking if you still want to hang out with alcoholics and the people that's drinking. You can't be delivered if you're still dibbling and dabbling with people who are suffering from the same thing that you're suffering from. See, when me and my son's father linked up, he was also having sex with a young lady that was my best friend. And me and her both found out. I never forget, we took one of the Reverend's vans from the church that I was going to. We took his van, one of the girls, she drove the van to his auntie house. We pulled up on him at his auntie house, me, the other girl, and another girl that I was once friends with. Pulled up on him, dropped a dime on him, okay, y'all? We rode up on him, y'all, in the van. Got out the car, like, you dating both of us, and you sleeping with both of us, and da-da-da-da-da. And my homegirl at the time, she smacked him. Bah, bah. You smacked me, and da-da-da-da-da. And I mean, this is the same guy that we've been both sleeping with. Just called her all out her name, called her all types of bees, hoes, all type of stuff. This the same man that we both been sleeping with that is calling you a bee and a hoe because now you done got caught up on your lies. And see, you got to be mindful of the people that you surround yourself with. When you wrong, you wrong. And nobody was telling R.Kelly, you wrong. Everybody saw the wrong that he was doing, but wasn't nobody questioning and telling him he's wrong. You got to be careful of people that's around you that's always your yes people. Always allowing you to do wrong and not questioning you, not saying you wrong. Sometimes it's an uncomfortable feeling to be told you ain't right. You wrong. You need to apologize. You need to go repent. You need to fix your attitude. You need to work on you. See, we don't want to hear that. We want to hear, oh, you're great, you're wonderful. And see, when you're young, 16, 17, and you're looking up at a superstar and a person that's influential, all you can think about is, I don't want to piss him off because I don't want to mess up my career. I don't want to do anything that's going to hinder. So I'm going to do what he say because it's going to get me to the next level in life. And you got to be careful because the only people that can bless you and curse you and give you elevation is God. That's the only person you should be trying to please. Not a boss, not a friend, not a spouse, not a lover, not a kid, not none of that. The only person that you should be trying to please in the sight of eyes is God. And when I realized that my disobedience and my rebellion caused my own frustration and my own hurt because I did not listen. And you as a parent, an influencer, a elite, a mentor, you have a responsibility to tell these kids the truth. And when you don't tell these kids the truth, what ends up happening is they test the waters. They start tasting. They start sampling. Start tasting and sampling lesbianism. Start tasting and sampling weed. Start tasting and sampling drinking. See, I didn't realize that I was going to become an alcoholic at an early age because I'm sipping and drinking my mama's Zinfandel and her Alizé out the refrigerator and putting water back in it so she don't know it's missing. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I know y'all heard me the first time. See, I didn't realize what I was tasting was going to get me in trouble later down the line, me tongue kissing, letting them put hickeys on my neck, getting fingered, humping in the back of the garage and in the backyard. How I go Giddy-O. Some of y'all was back there. Y'all know about how I go Giddy-O. Y'all know about 7 minutes in heaven and all that other type of freaky stuff that we was doing back then in the day. Some of y'all still doing freaky stuff, and you need to cut it out with your freak nasty selves. So you got to be careful, because R.Kelly asked for prayer from people who were suffering from the same illnesses as him: nastiness, greed, disgust, sexual demons. And if you don't believe me, R. Kelly wasn't the only one smashing them teenage girls. His whole camp was. Because let me tell you what men do. They have sex with you. Tell all their friends they didn't have sex with you. And then they look at you. Look at her. Look at her. I smashed that day. Look at her. She'll do anything I say. Come here. Come here, such and such. Next thing you know, you giving your friend the friend head. Next thing you know, you letting the friend hit it. I had a girl that I grew up with on my block. Community booty. And the thing about it is that she knew that her behavior wasn't appropriate, but she liked the attention that it got her. See, one of the things that you all missed in that documentary is that the one girl that was 17 years old, she said that she would have threesomes with him and Sparkle's niece. She wanted to be the favorite in his eyes. See, the difference between me and a young lady fighting over my son's father is that one of us wanted to be the favorite. I didn't win. Clearly, I didn't win. I wasn't the favorite. I wasn't about to keep going back and forth with you, boo. You can have them. There you go. I ain't lose nothing, and I ain't losing no sleep now. But see, when you want to be a part of the favor, and you want to be the favorite, and you want to be the one, the chosen one, you're going to do whatever you got to do to look like you the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. Because see, at the end of the day, after I had my son, okay, she still decided to keep messing with him, and he still decided to keep messing with her. Even after I told her about all the struggles that I was dealing with a baby and going off to college. Listen, go right on ahead, baby. You know why? Because he was whispering sweet nothings in your ear. Telling you this, telling you that. And she had her parents in her life. Both parents. But because they were doing what they wanted to do, going off and doing what they wanted to do, they weren't paying attention. So you have to have that conversation. And see, my mama wasn't no joke. I'm telling you, Kelly was a white woman in a black lady's body. Okay? She wasn't playing no games. She wasn't letting us spend a night over nobody's house. She wasn't letting nobody spend a night at our house. And she barely let my relatives, cousins, that's my age, they'll tell you, she wasn't letting all that happen. Kelly wasn't letting that. You wasn't smoking in her house. You go on the porch and smoke. You wasn't stepping on her carpet, take them shoes off at the door. Go wash your hands after you smoke. I don't want to smell that. And people thought she was uppity and bougie because she had a standard. And some of you don't have no standards. You let anything go. I grew up in a house, they let anybody come in, let anybody come out, let everybody live there, let everybody lay on the couch, let everybody come over, let everybody drink. It was an in and out house, in and out house. You can come over there any time of the day, any time of the night. Because there was no standards there. You're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know y'all heard me the first time. When you make the communication clear of what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate, you won't have predators trying to get your daughters and your sons. Because you've set the standards with your family and with your children. Now, when your children are at an age where they cannot speak for themselves, they're 4, they're 5, they're 6, it's your responsibility to protect those kids. It's still your responsibility to protect your children, period. But at an age where they cannot speak for themselves and they don't know the difference between right and wrong, you are responsible for those behaviors. And I fought R. Kelly's mother, because how dare you be so engulfed in the church that you don't know what's going on in your own house. See, you got to be careful for you saints out there and you ain'ts out there that go to church Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and your house is full of hell. You got to be careful that you are so influenced by the pastor and the bishop and he can't do no wrong that you forget about your own household. You out here cashing out at the church, but your house is suffering. Been there, done that. And I ain't doing it no more. I will do ministry and I will do what the Lord has told me to do as long as I got breath in my body to utilize my talents and my gifts to edify the ministry. But you better understand something right now here today is that you can't be so focused on people that are influential and powerful that you'll do anything for an opportunity, because desperation has a smell and people in power and manipulators smell it. People know when you're trying to get on, and people know what you're willing to do to get on. And let me tell you something. People in power will let you know, I got the power. I'm in charge. I'm the bishop. I'm the pastor. I'm the boss. I'm the employer. I'm the man in the house. I run the pants. They're going to always remind you, because that's what manipulation does. They want to keep you in your place so you understand where your position is, and it's underneath them. That's why he was able to pee on the girl. See, you got to understand what power, manipulation, and greed can do. See, you convey a person, you change their mindset first. Okay? You treat them good. You know? See, Tayshawn Daddy was buying me and my friends liquor. You know? Getting us Boone's Farm and Mike's Hard Lemonades and Bacardi Limon, because we were 17 and we wanted to go hang out and we couldn't get the liquor, but he could. See, see, manipulators and predators ease their way in first. They get you the things that you need, the things you want. They get you with the things that are going to entice you. They see that there's a need there, and so they want to fulfill that need because they know you ain't got it. That's why you got to be careful who you confide in, because every listening ear is also a running mouth, and you got to be careful because people prey on your desperateness. People prey on you wanting an opportunity to be a part of their team or to work under them or to work with them. R.Kelly is not the only one that was having sex with young girls. You better believe there are a lot of R&B artists, hip-hop artists, jazz artists, country singers, gospel singers, preachers, pastors, elders, bishops, ministry leaders, worship leaders that's out here messing with these little girls, messing with these little boys. See, y'all so concerned about the little girls, don't forget about these little boys. They looking for father figures because daddies is absent. Because you want to be lazy and lay up with some broad. So you got to be careful about who you let talk to your kids and speak into in their ear. My mom was very nosy, and I get it from her honest. I'm honest. Anybody that has ever dated me, they be like, you is nosy. Yes, I'm nosy. I'm nosy. It's HE double hockey sticks. Because what I don't know about you, I will find out. I tell every man that I've ever dated, I said, whatever I'm supposed to find out about you, I will find out. Because I ain't got time. You're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking about surviving the R. Kellys in your life. And are you the R. Kelly in your life? Not only that, you got to be careful, but you got to understand the strategy behind these things. He picked out certain ones. The Bible talks about the enemy seeks, looking, who he can devour, who he can destroy. See, I didn't realize that I was being picked out. It was tons of girls at that church. What made him pick me out of the bunch? People see things on you that you don't even see about yourself. They see things on your kids that you don't even see. You got to protect your family, protect your home, protect your gift, protect your talent. Don't be so desperate to be down with the get down that you're willing to compromise. And before I knew it, Jaja was compromising. Jaja was sneaking out her side window and climbing over the fence in the backyard to meet that Negro in the alley. What are you doing? You climbing over the fence? You don't even climb fences because you want to go be up under some Negro. They can't even take care of himself right now. And couldn't take care of himself then. And I'm going to tell you something right now. For all you parents out there, if you spoil your child, you'll end up raising your grandkids. But if you raise your child, you can spoil your grandkids. I'll let that marinate. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I know y'all heard me the first time. At the end of the day, you have to understand that people don't forget. They don't forget how you treat them. They don't forget how they dealt with you. They don't forget how that you've exposed them. They don't forget. I have learned to forgive a lot of people. And you know that saying, you got to forgive and you got to forget. But the memory is something, baby. These women, this happened 20 years ago. These women are in their 20s, their 30s. And they're still taunted by the memory. We got generations on generations of broken women and men trying to raise kids broken. Because they haven't healed properly. See, I didn't realize that my mama had sheltered me so much because my mama was getting beat up by my daddy. She was being verbally abused by my stepfather. She had been molested as a kid. So she was trying to protect me. And I was saying, let me go. Let me free. But I didn't realize all of the things that my mom had been through. And now as a woman, now as a mother, I understand the magnitude of what situations can do to your mental. It can break you down. I literally had a nervous breakdown. No wig, no clothes, gym shoes, bra, Spanx on, ready to buck. And I didn't care who it was. Whoever wanted it, they was gonna get it that day. And I ain't got time to play with none of y'all because y'all ain't got a heaven and hell to put me in. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I know you heard me the first time. You have to be mindful of sharing those experiences with your kids. They need to know what you've been through so that they don't have to go through what you went through. Don't keep that stuff a secret. You around here talking about what stays in the house, then don't nobody need to know what's going on. No, everybody need to know. Everybody needs to know. You dealing with depression, suicidal thoughts. I'm thinking about wanting to kill myself because I'm going through astronomical bills, overloaded with stress. Because I want to hold it in. I want to be strong. I don't want to seem like I'm going through something. And you got to be careful how you treat one another. Don't ever think because a person has a title and a position that gives them the right to treat you any kind of way, and it doesn't give you the right to put them at a pedestal. You treat everybody equally. You should be nice to everybody. Everybody should get the respect, whether it's from a bum on the street to a billionaire boss at the top of the game. Everybody should be respected. Everybody should be treated with the niceness and the respect that they deserve. It shouldn't just be people who you feel or deem to be important. No, not at all. Not at all. And listen, before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. We talking about the R.Kellys in your life. And are you the R.Kelly in your own life? Not only that, you have to understand, what are you valuing? Are you so caught up in materialistic things and the lifestyle that you are willing to sacrifice your own integrity for some lashes, for a wig, for some weave, for some Gucci pants, for a Gucci purse? I know Meek Mill's got a song out. He said you got to be careful of girls that want to have sex for a purse. See, some of you women out here, y'all so desperate to get on. And I understand it. I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. And I had to do what I had to do to get what I need to get done. Because I know how the game go. See, women, we're very powerful. You know why I know we're so powerful? Because God had to put man asleep in order for us to come alive. That's how powerful we are. Okay? He didn't want no interruptions in how we was made. You understand what I'm saying? We so powerful, okay? Because God could have created me and have a baby. I mean, he could have. He can do what he want to do. But there's a power that women possess that men don't. See, what you have to understand is that we are created to love. We're created to nourish. Have you ever noticed how women are always, as soon as your baby hurt his foot, oh, come here, let me see what's going on with your foot. come here and let mama kiss your foot. Ain't no wrong, no. Daddy see you hurt your foot. Get up. Ain't nothing wrong with you, boy. Get up. Because that's the balance that a team brings to the table. And see, when you have children, they need that balance. For those women out there that have fathers that want to be in your children's life and they ain't cuckoo crazy Cocoa Puffs, let that father be in them kids' lives. If there's a mother and she ain't got it all together, then I understand. You got to protect your kids. And you got to protect your kids from these weirdo family members that you know are weirdos. And some of you are the weirdos. You're the weirdos that's touching on kids. You're watching me right now and you're a weirdo. And you need to stop it because you're going to hell. I never forget, I was at church a few years ago, maybe like 6 years ago. And one of the singers at the church, you old, why are you hanging around with these teenage boys? I told one of the boys, come here. Why you hanging out with him? What y'all doing? Where y'all going? Why he need to take you to the store? Why you can't walk? Why you need a ride? What y'all got going on? So you got to start asking questions. Cause see, people don't want to be asked no questions. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful to ask the right questions. See, some of y'all asking the wrong questions when y'all dating. What's your favorite color? What do you like to do? Listen, have you ever been molested? What do you believe in? What's your integrity like? How are you with your finances? See, y'all asking the wrong questions because y'all want to be in love. See, I was dating this guy, and I never forget. And we wasn't even dating. We was just friends and sleeping together. He said, we gonna do more standing up than we are laying down if we gonna get this money. And I sat in. Bloop. What does he mean? What he meant by that is, y'all so quick to want to lay up when y'all should be out here trying to build up. And at the end of the day, sex is a powerful thing. And it's a beautiful thing. That's why R.Kelly loved doing it. He loved doing it because it's gratifying, it's satisfying. Anybody who has had sex and understands the power of sex and has gotten some good sex, because I've had some sex that wasn't so good, they need to go back to the drawing board. And I needed to go back to the drawing board because I didn't know what I was doing. When you finally understand the power of sex, what it's used for, how it's supposed to be used, you value it a different kind of way. You're not so quick to give it up or give in to a sexual partner, whether you be a man or a woman. You got to learn the people that you sleeping with. Some of you are so quick to have sex with somebody. These young girls were quick to have sex with this man. And here we are, he having sex with her, while he having sex with you, while he having sex with you. Thank God I don't have AIDS or HIV. I thank God, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Because Tayshawn's father was having sex with her. He was having sex with me. And ain't no telling who else he was having sex with. Because I told y'all in my last episode last week, I'm 9 months pregnant with an STD that could have blinded my son. Because he wanted to decide to have sex with Precious from down the street. And I got to take a blue pill while I'm 9 months pregnant so that my son don't become blind. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I know y'all heard me the first time. Yeah. Sitting right in that Bonneville, the white one. Outside the clinic on 6 Mile in Greenfield. You got to be careful. These 14-year-old, 16-year-old girls, 17-year-old girls, they have no clue that STDs are real. When people and these health teachers, see, when they in high school and they in middle school, they laughing at it. We laughed at sex education. We ain't get no STD. We ain't gonna get no AIDS. We ain't gonna put a condom on. What? And then you got these men and these women that are conning you out of not wearing a condom. Oh, I don't like wearing a condom. Are you crazy? Are you insane? Well, you know what? Let's both go to the clinic together. Come on, no, let's go together. I'll meet you, you drive your car, I'll drive mine, we can ride together. Because at the end of the day, you have to value yourself way more, because nobody's going to value you like you are. And believe you me, Success can happen overnight. It can. It can happen overnight. God will put somebody in your life that will catapult your career to the next level. He will put you in a position of authority that you would never in a million years think that you would have. But you can't sell your soul, and you can't sell yourself short either, trying to come up quick. And these young ladies was looking for a come up. Their parents were looking for a come up. Had they not been looking for a come up, they would not have settled. See, they all settled out of court. They all got a nice chunk of money. See, when you mad and you pissed off, oh, you going all the way through with your lawsuit. See, my mom was not playing when it came to Tayshaun dad. She had already warned him in the kitchen of Greater New Jerusalem Missionary Baptist Church that you need to leave my daughter alone. And because Jaja was disobedient and decided to do what Jaja wanted to do, I opened up Pandora's box. But because the law was on my mama's side, because of the age difference, the ball was in my mama's court. And regardless of how anybody feels that watches me, that's related to me, that knows me from when I was a kid, you all know the truth just as well as I know that half of y'all should have been telling that boy, that young man, to leave these girls alone. And they entertained it. They thought it was funny. They thought it was cute. He came and wreaked havoc in our lives. Well, mine, I can't say anything about nobody else. Let me speak for Jaja, okay? Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Havoc. And didn't care nothing about it. And just like R.Kelly, with his distorted and mental freaky self, he didn't care about wreaking havoc in these ladies, in these young ladies' lives or the parents' lives, because he wanted what he wanted when he wanted it. And like predators, they want what they want when they want it. And they gonna do and say whatever they gotta do to get it. That's why you gotta be your kid's first teacher. That's why you gotta make sure you telling them the truth. That's why you can't sugarcoat nothing. People that know me, your kids coming with me, I'm gonna tell them the straight up truth. No chasing cocaine. It's straight up raw. I'm telling them the truth. Because ain't nobody got time for my son to learn about love, friendship, how to treat a woman from YouTube or Google or his homeboys or some Negro that don't have no positive relationships in the first place. Listen, I'm broadcasting live from Evolution Beauty Bar. Make sure y'all come and get your lashes done, get your hair done. We got some amazing stylists in the building. And you know your last check, you want to get glorified, get beautified. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you together up in here. We at 17815 West 7 Mile, right on the corner of 7 Mile and Southfield. You can't miss it. And if you're trying to get you some bundles for the holiday, okay, we got some bundle deals for you and some good packages for the Valentine's Day special. Yeah, I just plugged myself because that's what I'm supposed to do, okay? It's my platform. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about surviving the R.Kellys in your life, and are you the R.Kelly? Are you the predator? Protect your kids. And I'm going to tell you this, too. Stop allowing your kids to be more grown than what they need to be. You letting them walk out with cleavage. I was looking at the homecoming and the prom dresses, and it has turned into a whole orchestra of fugazi and foolishness. Some of you are doing the most for proms and homecoming, and your daughters is coming out with their breasts, butts, all types of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a point at an age where they can make their own decisions, but they 14, 15 years old, and they got their breasts out. That should not be. That should not be. That should not be at all. Not at all. Not at all. Like my sister, she just got her a tattoo. She's 17. She wanted a tattoo in remembrance of my mother. I can't stop her from that. Because at the end of the day, she gonna get it regardless. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain is that I'm not gonna allow her to go get no tattoo with her friends and go be trying to get a tattoo in the basement. And then she got gangrene on her shoulders because they didn't gave her a tattoo with a dirty needle. I'm gonna take her to where she need to go, where they gonna be clean, sufficient, and certified. Because, see, me and my friend, we call ourselves trying to go get some piercings, and we got pierced in the basement, and my friend damn near bled to death because the man pierced her belly button and then answered the phone and forgot that he was supposed to finish her belly ring. So she got blood running all down her stomach already got mine pierced, so I'm good. I'm sitting there twisting mine because he told me to twist it. And he didn't answer the phone call and forgot that she clamped with a metal stick in her belly ring and she bleeding. You got to understand, you are your kid's first teacher. You got to protect your daughters just as well as your sons. And these men and these women don't care nothing about your Jesus, your God, your Allah, your Jehovah, or anybody else. They want what they want when they want it. And these were women and men that went to church. He said his mama was in the choir. He asked for prayer from his whole camp. And like I said before, you got to be careful who's in your camp, who's praying for you, who's praying with you, because you can't be delivered from your demons if they still dealing with theirs. Demon plus demon is demon to the second power. And the truth is the truth. And at the end of the day, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know y'all heard me the first time. And I say it in love because I love y'all, and I don't want y'all to be out here. And I would hate to see any of your kids missing because they want to hit the streets because they want to be fast. And they want to jump at an opportunity. Now, don't get me wrong. Let God lead you. Pray about that thing. Pray about these people. But you got to hold people accountable. And if R.Kelly goes to prison, guess what? That's going to be a field day for him. Because all they do in prison is poke each other, especially those old freaky ones. So we ain't really getting him delivered from what he's dealing with. We're actually putting him in the devil's den with people who are sexual predators. So you got to be careful. Yeah, put him in prison. Yeah, he need to go to jail. We're going to put him in jail with the rest of the rapists, with the rest of the people that are already suffering. And for those individuals that are free and you are dealing with some sexual demons that you have to deal with, you dealing with some predatory behaviors, you need to seek God and you need to seek counseling. It is okay. It's not just a white people thing. I go to counseling. It's free at University of Detroit Mercy. It's free. And counseling is necessary. Whether it's dealing with some things that you got going on mentally, physically, emotionally. You need to talk to somebody. Sometimes you can't talk to your family. Sometimes you can't talk to your friends. Sometimes you just need a whole nother person that don't know you or the people you talking about. It allows you to free yourself and your conscience. I be in there telling them all about y'all. Like, girl, let me tell you. Okay? I want you all to go get the necessary support and help that you need. And I want you all to use wisdom. The power of sex is real. If it wasn't real, God wouldn't have made it specifically the way he made it. And y'all know when y'all get some good sex in your life, it make you go crazy. You don't know how to act. You get a good love in your life, you just, oh my God, I'm in love. Oh my God. It's okay. God wants you to be in love. He wants you to have a significant other, a spouse, a relationship. He loves that. He loves love. He wants somebody to love you the best way that he wants you, the way you want to be loved. He wants that for you. But he also don't want you to sell yourself short in order to get it. Because desperation has a smell. And predators smell it. They smell it from a mile away. The minute that you catch eye contact with that predator, they've already got you. You got to learn how to turn that plate down. You know what? I'm good. Thank you. There were plenty of days I would walk home from school, in high school, in middle school, in elementary school, and cars pulled up alongside of me. Hey, you need a ride? No, I don't need a ride. I'll walk. Well, it's pouring down raining. It's okay. I like the rain. You sure you don't want to ride? No, I don't want to ride. No, thank you. I don't want to ride, Clarence. I don't want to ride, George. No, thank you. I'll walk. There have been men pulled up on my brothers while they were walking. Y'all want to ride? Y'all need a ride? Y'all, it's hot out here. You want some water? You want a ride? That's how they get you. Yeah, let me get a ride. Take me. No. Next thing you know, you at somebody's basement being sold to the highest bidder. And you also have to be mindful not only of the power of sex, but the power of music. See, surviving R.Kelly ain't just about his predatory behavior, but it was about what he expressed. And he expressed that predatory behavior through his music. And I want to say this. While you all are protesting, ready to mute R. Kelly, make sure you mute everything he touched. See, it's not enough just to mute his music. You got to mute everything he touched. That means Aaliyah music got to come down. Celine Dion music got to come down. Everything he wrote about got to come down. Space Jam got to come down. See, if you're going to mute him, if you're going to utilize your power and flex, you're going to have to mute all of R. Kelly, not just some of R. Kelly. Because see, what happens is that, oh, we won't play this music, but we going to play Your Love is a 1 in a Million. Age ain't nothing but a number. These were things written by him. So if you're going to mute the man, mute everything that the man touched, everything that the man wrote, everything that the man produced, everything that the man executive produced, every video that he was in, every album that he did. If you're going to mute him all the way. Don't just mute him partially, because that ain't fair. If you're going to bring him down, bring him all the way down. And anything that's attached to it. See, the thing about being delivered is that you can't just pluck the flower. You got to pluck the root out of the ground. Because if you don't, the root can still spring out some flowers from that same seed that has been planted. And if you're going to mute R. Kelly, you're going to have to mute everything that's attached to R. Kelly. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. I know y'all love Aaliyah, and I do too. I know y'all love all the other artists, and I do too. But if you're going to mute him all the way. Mute him all the way. You have to be mindful of the things that you want to speak up on. If you're going to speak up, speak up. If you're going to stand down, stand down. But see, you can't come back 20 years later talking about, oh my God. No. You can't say, I earned this last name. I don't want to be attached to nothing that got to do with nothing that I don't stand for. And if I was his ex-wife, I wouldn't want to walk around with the last name Kelly. What you proud of? What did you earn? What did you earn from the last name? Knowing that your ex-husband was a predator and you was living right in that same household and probably participating with some of those same nasty, disgusting behaviors. See, don't let the game get you twisted and fooled. TV has a way to manipulate you and trick you. Now, one thing's for sure, two things for sure. Trump ain't lying when he talk about fake news. The TV, my old pastor, shout out to Reverend Wilson, he used to say the idiot box has a way of making us idiots. Because we believe everything we see on TV. Y'all know how I go. It's two sides to the truth. It's her side, his side, and then it's the truth. 3 sides to every story. It's your girl, Jaja. You're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, we talked about surviving R. Kelly. Are you surviving R. Kellys in your life? And are you the R. Kelly in your life? Please be careful. I love y'all so very much. Please continue to follow me. Please continue to share my videos, repost, relike, comment, continue the conversation after I get off, because we have to nip it in the butt. And if ain't nobody gonna protect us, we gotta protect us. Flint still got dirty water, and this fool trying to build a wall. Y'all better pay attention. Our kids still have water fountains that are shut off, but they building buildings downtown. Where they getting the money for that? Why can't they redo the pipeline? Because it's the pipeline that has the lint in it. I mean, not the lint, but it's the pipeline that has the lead and the other definitely components in it. You have to pay attention, y'all. Don't be so naive because downtown look all pretty and everything, but we still got lead in the water and our kids are still drinking the lead in the water. Don't be misled. Don't get our mayor so big-headed and pumped up thinking that he's doing something, but our kids are still being poisoned. Be careful who you put on a high pedestal. Only person that y'all supposed to be trying to please and look up to and live for is God. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I know y'all heard me the first time. Listen, it's your girl, Jaja. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Make sure you share these videos. Listen, It's your girl, baby Oprah out here. I'm trying to be syndicated so I can get on these TVs and I can have me an audience and y'all can be clapping while I'm talking, okay? All right? Listen, I love y'all. Cover your ears, cover your eyes, watch your mouth. Peace out.